Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about World War II rationing. Now this is a subject that is on quite a few people's minds. Today we call it limits, but I'm going to be talking about the actual World War II rationing. This is an actual ration book holder, and it is from World War II. My mother was in World War II. She was in Pearl Harbor. She had just become a registered nurse through the Navy, and she was assigned to Pearl Harbor. So when the Japanese came in and hit Pearl Harbor, she was there. She was a nurse. Now more about rationing. This is a rationing book holder. Many companies would advertise on the back, and I won't show you exactly where this is from, but it says compliments of ABC Auto Casualty Compensation Insurance. It's not ABC. It's just a made-up name. It tells the building, the city, the state, the phone number. Strange thing is the phone number is 4 digits, like 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it has a little slogan. And why not give us your next policy? Well, that's kind of generic. Again, this is an actual ration coupon book holder from World War II. Now, let's see what was in this when the ration books were handed out. I'm going to cover up part of the information that is on this because it is family information, so you won't see that part. I will show you, let me see here, I will show you the front of the ration book. This is War Ration Book 2. Now, I don't exactly know. I guess it was the second book they handed out, but this is an example of the stamp. They put one on the very front. So this War Ration book is like a folder, and it's a light cardstock. So on the end, and it was numbered. They were issued, and on the inside, you'll see there's nothing here. But on the inside, this is where your ration coupons would be stapled. They're stapled right in the middle. On the back, it has instructions. Very, very detailed instructions. This is what you do. This is how you do it. You know, any questions, this is who it's issued by. On the front of the ration book, and I'll cover up things, there's a warning. And it talks about that you can't sell things. You can't sell your coupons, that what they're used for, who issued it, it's property of the United States government. Very detailed information. Now, I will read some of the information, the instructions that were on the back. This book is valuable. Do not lose it. Each stamp authorizes you to purchase rationed goods to the quantities and at the issues times designated by the Office of Price Administration. Without the stamps, you will be unable to purchase these goods. Now, rationed goods, another thing that was in this ration book of my mother's was a letter. And again, she was in the Navy, and she would write her mother, her family, a very strange thing. Again, I will not show you. It's very thin, almost like onion skin paper. This is May 23rd, 1945. So, in the letter, each letter was opened by the government before it was sent through. And the reason is, and you'll see something is cut out. In here, it states, I'm in, and it would have given a location. She would have said, I'm in wherever. Well, they didn't want people to know where their troops were, I guess, or something, because they cut out the location of where she was stationed. This happened to my uncle was in the Army, my mother was in the Navy, and my father was also in the Army and some special services. So rationing was very serious. Like I said, it started in May 1942, and the first thing that was rationed was sugar. Sugar in the attic, homestead. Always good to have a little sugar in the attic. Coffee was added to the list that November. I have some notes. It was followed by meats, fats, canned items, canned goods like canned fish, cheese, and canned milk. Now the allowance coupons, which are the coupons that for everything that was rationed. Now housewives had to register with particular retailers. So they would go to, I don't know, let's say Walmart. Walmart, it didn't exist, but a particular retailer to buy meat, to buy canned goods, whatever they were going to buy. They had to register with them. Other items that were rationed were dried fruit, cereals, crackers. Now, the coupons used a point system. On this book, this was doesn't say the points. I guess it's an example. Office of Price Administration, it says 5. So that must have been 5 points on that coupon. Now, in addition to the coupons, like I said, they each had a point. So let's say a pound of meat was 5 points. It may be 1 coupon, or you may have 5 coupons. It does not mean they were free. You still had to have money to buy the goods. Other items that were rationed were tires, gasoline, and shoes. Now, the shoes, they had leather bottoms, but some of them had rubber bottoms, like from the tires or whatever, so they were rationed. Strangely enough, I found in my research that things that were never rationed were potatoes and bread. I guess because you grew potatoes at home and you could make your bread out of the flour the little flour that you got. Now there were some sweets available, on and off. It was lemon sherbet, barley sugar, and they made it into a twist candy, licorice, pear drops, and cola cubes. Never have licorice I know about, but the rest of those I have no idea what those are. Cola cubes. I'll have to look that one up. There was a shortage of grain to feed the animals and the chickens. And so there was not enough to feed the people, not enough to feed the animals, is what one of these quotes was. Butter was rationed, and the reason was they wanted to make sure that everyone had a little. This is when government cheese started coming through. And when I'm reading this information and putting this video out, think about the stores today. No, they're not ration coupons and things are not quote unquote rationed, but think about the limits. Think about the last 2.5, 3 years. What has been on a limit, or what has been limited on the shelf by just not having it, or actual limits with signs that say you can only get 2 of whatever it is, all the way from canned goods to sugar to coffee to toilet paper. Coffee was considered a luxury in these days. A lot of people, what they would do is they would dig up dandelion roots, roast them or cook them over like an open fire or pit or whatever it is, or maybe in the oven. They would let them dry completely. They would chop them up and let them cure for maybe a month. Just let them sit there. And then they would grind them, put them in a coffee maker or a small metal tea container, and they would make a drink, roasted dandelion root tea. It's very dark. It has a very different flavor. I drink it now. I don't make my own, but I drink it now. And it's somewhat bitter, I guess, like coffee. So they could add, if they had any other sweeteners, they could add that, or milk if they had a cow. Now, the ration book had removable stamps, and you could, like I said, you could only buy these items with a stamp and money. Now, chocolate came off rationing. Chocolate was rationed. Chocolate came off rationing February 5th, 1953. The sweet ration, which would mean candies and things of that nature, came off at the end of 1953. It sounds like a long time, but they just had to continue to ration things for a certain period of time. This is something I found very, very interesting. Bacon grease. Now, people say bacon grease, they use it. I don't know if anybody cans it. I don't, but you can leave it on the counter if you'd like, or put it in the refrigerator. That's up to you. My grandmother used to leave it on the counter in a can. Now, there was a committee through the government. It was called the American Fat Salvage Committee. Now, what they did is they urged people to donate excess bacon fat. They would actually have a scheduled pickup for anyone who wanted to donate excess bacon fat. At the time, the fat was used to make glycerin. I thought that was extremely interesting because if you think about, they didn't have much, they weren't allowed much butter. It was rationed. They did get margarine. It was different. Margarine was a plain white cube of fat, and they had a packet to put with it of color to make it look yellow so it would look like butter. It was not. But people would, if they had bacon, or let's say, you know, they were in the city, they had bacon, whatever it was, they would save the bacon fat and use it in biscuits, gravy, frying, whatever they wanted to use. It was a seasoning. They put, if they had green beans in the garden, they would put bacon fat with it. So, I hope you found this video very enjoyable and informative. In the comments below, if you will put down some of the things that you have found that were rationed in World War II. And think about what we have going on right now, how it equates to rationing in World War II. I appreciate you stopping by. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe and hit that thumbs up. Share this video with your friends and family, and I hope to see you real soon.